Hello everyone, I'm John from Amlin. Today in this video, I'm going to talk about how you can hide or disable the sections in the form or page UI and can enable them back based on some input conditions. Let's take this demo application form. If you look into this form, we have a remarks section. Here in the remarks label, the user needs to enter the remarks only if the score entered in this input field is greater than 10. So therefore, we can hide this remark UI section on the page load. There are many ways to hide the UI element on the page. Let me show you some. First, if you want to hide any section on your page design, you can simply select that section and enable this hidden on load settings on the property window. Save and preview your project. Now on the application runtime, the remark section will no longer be visible or appear on the page load. Let's see the other way by scripting. To hide any section, div or UI element on the page, select the page content. Now we can add a simple JavaScript action with event type as load. Let's name it as hide on load. Open JavaScript editor and use a hide function with the section ID. Please note that the section ID for this remark section can be seen on the property window. Save this JavaScript editor and click on the Save button to save the section. Also, we can select the section and disable the hidden on load settings that we have enabled before. Now you can save and preview your application. You will see it will produce similar results, and on the page load, the remark section will remain hidden. Now we also need to control this remark section with the condition that if input scores entered by the user are greater than equal to 10, we will display this remark section, else we will keep it hidden. To create this condition, we'll create one page state. Let's say score. And connect it with the input field score. Next is to create one JavaScript action. Choose event type as change. Let's call it as getScore. Open JavaScript editor. Now the page state score that we bind with the score input field can be accessed with the command $page.state.score. I use the if condition here to check if the value of the score is greater than equal to 10. Use the div ID and .show function to display the remarks UI section. Else, if the score value is less than 10, let it remain hidden. Now you can save this editor and save the JavaScript function. Save and preview your application project. Now you can see on the application runtime, depending on the value of the score entered by the user, if it is 10 or more, the remark section will show up. And for score value less than 10, it will remain hidden. Let's see another demo to disable and enable fields based on some specific conditions. In this same application, we have this model design UI to add family members. If you look into this model design, based on the age entered by the user, we need to enable the fields available for the user. For example, if the age entered by the user is greater than equal to 6, we need to enable the section below. For 13 years, we will have the next section enabled, and for age 15 and greater, all section will be enabled and available to the user for selection. To enable and disable any section, open the section in the designer and get the section ID. Select page content and open this load function on the page content. Open JS editor. Use IT with attribute disable command to disable this field that we need to enable with age. Similarly, you can disable all the fields that you would like to enable with the age input by the user. Save and preview your application. You will see on the application runtime all those fields that you have added a disable attribute will appear as disabled. Now you can create a condition and enable those fields based on the age input by the user. Open the model in the designer. We'll do the similar steps. Create one page state, let's say age, and connect it with the age input field. Select the age input field and create one JavaScript function. Write event type as change and let's name it as age rule. Open JavaScript editor. We will use the if condition here and compare the age input by the user. So if input age is greater than or equal to 6, we use the ID with the remove attribute disable function to make it enable. And if the condition will not met, we leave it disabled. Same for age 13 and age 15 respectively. Save the action. Now hide the model on the designer screen, save and preview your application. Now you will see on the application runtime, all fields will be shown as disabled. And depending on the value of the age entered by the user, selected fields will be enabled and others will remain disabled. This way, you can use Page Designer configuration settings to hide or disable any UI section on the screen on page load and use a simple JavaScript action to display or enable those fields with any specific conditions on page runtime. Thank you for watching this video.